Hi ladies, today I'd like to dispel a myth. That myth is that everybody has PMS. It's just a fact of life. And guess what? I've had it before, you've probably had it before. I know what it's like, but that is not how it should be. It might feel like it's the norm, but here's the thing. Before I dispel that myth, let's just talk about womanhood for a minute. So sometimes as women, we tend to fall into this victim mentality like, ugh, I don't want to be a woman. I don't want to have this cycle. I don't want to have to feel this emotional roller coaster. Why don't guys have to feel this way? It's not fair. And when we fall into that not fair mentality, it doesn't really help us. As a matter of fact, it could be contributing to why your cycle is out of alignment, because we are cyclical beings, men and women, all right? So we have our circadian rhythm, which is a 24-hour rhythm, which we all have. But as women, we have this alternate cycle. It's an infradian rhythm. It's 28 days. And it really can be harnessed as a superpower. We can learn to leverage it and use it to our advantage. So we like to think of it as a female advantage. And sometimes you might wake up and be thinking, I do not feel like this is an advantage. I don't feel like I'm ready to take on the world or be a leader or go to work or whatever's on your agenda for the day. Then it goes back to these feelings. I just have PMS sometimes. It's the way it is. And you know, I've thought that way before too. I've been cranky, hadn't really known what was wrong, realized it was PMS, and I thought, oh, well, I guess that's just the way it is. But here's the real truth. Once you get to know your hormones, you don't have to struggle with PMS. Or if you have it and you see the symptoms, you can know exactly what to do to dispel it, which I think is so cool. So here's the thing. PMS happens right before your period starts, right? Like the week before, anytime. It could be just a day before, but sometime within that week before, you're gonna feel your emotions go a little bit crazy. And that's what PMS is premenstrual syndrome. So right before the bleeding starts. And there's a lot of things happening in your body. If you know what your hormones are doing, you can help counteract that. You can see during the first half of your cycle that your estrogen is high. During the second half of your cycle, your progesterone is high. I was listening to Dr. Mindy Pelz, and she made this really cool comparison between your estrogen and your progesterone, and she called them twin sisters. But they're twin sisters with two very different personalities and two very different needs. So during the first half of your cycle, you're naturally going to be feeling good because that higher estrogen increases a neurotransmitter called serotonin, which is a feel-good chemical. And so you kind of naturally feel good, like you can take on more stress and feel pretty good about it. During the second half of your cycle, the estrogen's a little bit lower, but the progesterone is high. This twin sometimes needs a little push to get up to where it needs to be. So like while estrogen over here in the first half is like an extrovert and you feel maybe a little bit more extroverted when it's high, progesterone is more like the introvert. It's like she doesn't want to be seen. And so you've got to help support her a little bit. And you do that by feeding your progesterone correctly, or really by feeding your body so that your body can make the progesterone. But I think you get the point. We want to feed your body some really good things the week or even the 2 weeks really before your period is supposed to start. So right after ovulation, you should actually start shifting the way you eat a little bit and eat some healthy carbs. Progesterone loves carbs. But hang on, I know carbs is kind of a bad word right now. So the quality of carbs, the kind of carbs really, really matters. Okay? So this might be when you crave chocolate or crave sugar. And the reason why is because your body is craving carbs. And so it's like, well, if that's the quickest carbs I can get, then yeah, give me some of that. but that's going to cause more long-term effects as far as toxicity and like supporting your progesterone in the moment, in the short term, maybe, but not really a long-term sustained effect like sugar does, because we eat sugar and our blood sugar rises and then we crash, and it's not really a sustainable option for your progesterone either. So the kinds of carbs that you should be eating to help your progesterone are things like soaked whole grains. It could be a whole wheat sourdough bread. It could be a whole grain brown rice. Could be sweet potatoes. Those are fantastic for your hormones in multiple ways, but it does check the box of this carbohydrate that you need. Fruits are wonderful carbs. So eat an apple or an orange or something that's a whole food, a God-given food that will help your body in so many ways. Adding these types of things to your diet is what's going to help calm that PMS, because it'll bump that progesterone up to a sustainable level. And if you're still craving sugar during that time, you just need to give it some time, because as you eat these other foods and introduce good, yummy, wholesome foods into your diet, then your gut microbiome is going to start to change, and you're actually going to change your cravings. And that's cool. That's a long-term process that might take a few weeks. So, a lot of these changes you're not going to see immediately, but if you learn to fall within your cyclical nature, learn what's happening to your body when, you can do your body so much good. It is a myth that everyone just has PMS, because you can overcome that. You can change that. You don't have to have PMS. You can learn to read your body, and you can learn what your body's going to do before it even gets there, and completely bypass it with your diet, with your mindset, with your exercise, and with other tools that are completely life-changing.